on this channel, we cover all things living in the Temecula Valley, and we make little videos here and there about all of the different cities here inside of the Temecula Valley. But you guys have been consistently asking me for full guide videos, the everything you need to know video about each of the cities here in the Temecula Valley, and that's exactly what I'm going to bring you guys today. This is the full guide to living in Temecula, California video. This is going to give you all the information, everything you absolutely need to know before you make the move here. I can't wait to share it all with you. Let's get to it. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, your local Temecula Valley realtor, and this channel is dedicated to all things living in the Temecula Valley, from new construction tours to neighborhood spotlights to new things coming here to the Valley. I want you and your family to know exactly what it's like living here before you make the move. Thanks for tuning in today. Let's dive in. All right, so as I said, this video is all things living in Temecula, California. I'm going to talk to you about shopping and dining and schools and safety and home prices and rental prices, everything you need to know, all of the questions that we typically get from buyers that reach out to us from watching these videos about moving here to Temecula. I'm going to share those answers with you right now. Thanks for tuning in. So let's start with why people love living here in Temecula. Well, everybody loves the small town feel that although we're over 100,000 in population here in Temecula, it still feels a bit like a small town, especially if you're coming from places like Orange County or San Diego here in California. You're going to feel a much smaller town feel. Now, obviously, we are known in Temecula for the wineries, which we will touch on here. Top rated schools, consistently ranked top 10 safest cities in the state. And so that attracts a lot of people. There's a lot of things to do here, lots of entertainment. It's not going to be as extravagant as Orange County or San Diego if you're local here, but it does offer a lot for that smaller town feel that we'll discuss here in just a moment as well. Now, a lot of people come here to the area due to the affordability also. So we'll touch on that side of it. Significantly cheaper than the rest of Southern California with still a great location. So we have people even within California that flock to Temecula due to that affordability and all of the other features that the city offers. Now, obviously, I also have to touch on the fact that people are always here for the weather. We have 275 plus days a year of sunshine in Temecula, California, and that brings people here to enjoy the sunny Southern California weather. And outside of that, we've just got some beautiful scenery. Again, wineries, rolling hills, great sunsets, some really great views. You can see hot air balloons floating through the sky, through the wineries on the weekends. And so it just really always feels like you're almost living on vacation here all of the time. So that's what attracts people here to Temecula. Now, why don't people love Temecula? So I've kind of talked to some of our clients that have moved here and pulled them for some of the reasons that they, maybe regret moving here or just some cons to see really what they miss having moved from another place. One of those items is definitely commute. If you're living here, you are likely going to be commuting to San Diego, LA, or Orange County for work, and that really grinds on people over time. You're looking at an hour plus long commute to get to any of those areas, maybe even longer in certain circumstances, and so that can be frustrating and can be a pain point for people living here in Temecula. Outside of that, I mentioned the weather is great, but we do get warmer than some of the coastal cities here in Southern California. So our summers are typically averaging right around 95 degrees. And then we have several stretches of consecutive days over 100 degrees during summer. So be expecting those warm temperatures in summer pretty consistently. And lastly, while cost of living is significantly lower than some of the coastal cities, San Diego, Orange County, LA, it is significantly lower than most of those areas, but it is higher than the national average. So if you're coming from somewhere else in the country, overall cost of living, which we'll touch on here today, does get a bit more expensive. All right, so let's get into breaking down each of the different segments for these full guide videos. One that we've just recently added that we don't normally talk about here on the channel is shopping. A lot of you guys have asked to hear about shopping here in the area, so let me give that to you. Temecula is pretty well built out, and so you can expect to see just about everything that you're looking for as far as stores go. All of the popular chain restaurants and stores and all of that are going to be right here inside of Temecula. So I don't think you're going to be missing out on too much. Now, if you're coming from somewhere else in the country and maybe your HEB brand does not translate over to California, you might be missing some of that, but you're still going to have all the major grocery stores. You're going to have Trader Joe's, Costco, Home Depot, Petco, PetSmart. You're going to have your Targets, your Walmarts. All of those stores are right here inside of Temecula. Now, outside of those big box stores that you will see in some of the bigger shopping centers, which Temecula offers plenty of, you can also expect to find a lot at the mall. The Temecula Promenade Mall is located right in the heart of Temecula, quick access right off of the 15 freeway, and offers over 170 stores. You're gonna see everything you need there. You've got an indoor portion of the mall as well as an outdoor portion of the mall. So even on some of those great weather's days, it's really great to get out there and do some shopping. You're gonna see, you know, all of your Apple stores, your Foot Lockers, everything that you would expect to see at the mall. Some high-end retail as well as some of the mid-range retail is going to be offered in the Temecula Mall. And if you're looking for specific stores there, you can check out our YouTube video here on the channel about the mall. And if you're looking to get even smaller than that, we've got Old Town Temecula, and that is a great place to go, kind of some of those boutique type stores and find some mom and pop shops that just offer everything under the sun. So you can go clothes shopping, antique shopping, you know, there's Western wear, there's everything you could be looking for. There's a cigar shop, there's coffee shops, there's just all sorts of things to do there. You can have a great day of shopping in Old Town Temecula as well, which has a super Western feel to it and really brings Temecula back to its historic roots. Now let's move on to talk about dining in Temecula. Let's talk about those food options. Food is near and dear to my heart, so I am really a big fan of going out to have a great meal, and Temecula doesn't disappoint there. Now, I will caveat to say if you are looking for you know, the finest selections of restaurants, you're probably going to be commuting to San Diego, about an hour from here, or Orange County, or even into LA. That's gonna have everything you're looking for. That's where you're gonna find all the Michelin star restaurants and all of that. But Temecula does have some really great dining options. Now, I mentioned earlier in this video, and you'll hear us talk about it a little bit later, but we are known for all of the wineries in Temecula. What's great with those is those are also paired with really great restaurants as well. You'll have dining options at Leoness, Ponte, South Coast. They all offer really great dining experiences paired with some really great wine, as you would expect directly from those wineries, and some great views as well. So those are a great place to go out and check out some restaurants. Now, you've also got some really great options in Old Town Temecula. That's where you're gonna get some of those local feel restaurants. Again, they're not gonna have the big chain restaurants inside of Old Town, but you've got some great options to go dining there. Gambling Cowboy is one of my absolute favorite steakhouses in Temecula. You've got Luke's on Front Street, you've got sushi, you've got Goat and Vine, which is a great place for some pizza and sandwiches. You've got a barbecue place, you've got a burger place, you've got Crush and Brew, which has got some great options there as well. So a lot to do in Old Town Temecula as far as dining as well. There's also a growing craft brewing and coffee scene here in the area. So we've got lots of options. There's a Better Buzz Coffee, not yet active, but coming soon here in the area. You've got Bean Coffee Roasters, you've got all your Starbucks, everything that you're looking for there. The Press Espresso, which is great. And then outside of that, you've got Refuge Brewing, if you like some of the craft brew side of things. And then again, you also have the wineries to experience some of that as well. So really great dining options here. Again, I just don't think you're going to be missing out on anything. You're also going to have all of your chain restaurants that you would typically be looking for. Most of those are going to surround the mall area, and so you'll be able to access a lot of those. And then there's some great restaurants that are, you know, not big chains that surround the mall as well. Carl Strauss is a great one, Southern California, local chain restaurant. And there's also a great place called Burgers and Beer, really great place to have some craft beer and some really creative burgers as well. Now let's move on to talk a little bit about entertainment or things to do in Temecula. Now, I don't believe this is going to disappoint. You know, when we compare other cities against each other, typically Temecula is winning here in the Temecula Valley for things to do because it's just a fully built out city with everything that you could ask for there. Now, again, I will caveat to say, if you're looking for major concerts and big sporting events and an active nightlife club scene, all of that, you're typically going to be venturing outside of Temecula. You'll commute down to San Diego or Orange County or LA, again, each a little over an hour away. But Temecula does offer some really great things to keep you entertained along the way. We've talked about it already, but the wineries. There are over 50 active wineries in Temecula right now. So if you are looking to get out, have a nice relaxing day, have a glass of wine, have some great food, hit the spa, some of them have pools. If you're just looking for a nice relaxing day, you've got the wineries that you can go out and enjoy, and you can even become a wine club member at each of those wineries and enjoy their monthly tastings and offerings all throughout the year. Temecula also features some really fun annual events. We've got the Temecula Balloon and Wine Festival every single year, hot air balloons, wine tasting, some great things there, and that's a really fun event that people come from all over California to come attend that annually. You've got the Temecula Rod Run if you love to have see some hot rods rolling through Old Town Temecula. It is a ton of fun. That lasts several days here in the area. And you also have seasonal farmers markets as well as local parades that happen on some of the big holidays as well. Old Town Temecula is a great option to explore for, as I mentioned earlier, some great food, some great shopping. You can really spend a whole day down there, have a great lunch, do some shopping, end up with some dinner. And then there's even some hidden speakeasy bars within Old Town Temecula that you can go in for a drink afterwards. And so just a lot of fun things to do inside of Old Town, and that can keep you entertained for a really long time. Outside of that, Temecula is well known for its golfing here in the area. You've got a ton of golf courses, lots of options to choose from. We've got some videos here on the channel about our top 5 favorite golf courses, so be sure to check that out if that is your thing. We also have California's largest casino here in Temecula, so if you like to gamble or go out and see some live music, and we even have some performers come through there, like Jerry Seinfeld was just here. There's even some bands that come their way through there, but you're definitely not going to see Taylor Swift or anybody appearing at a casino here. But outside of that, you will see some things to keep you entertained all throughout the year. Okay, so let's move on to some more of the practical side of things and talk a little bit about numbers. First off, I'm going to talk to you about property taxes. That is very important if you're considering moving to Temecula, California. Those property taxes can vary greatly, and you're going to need a local expert. Myself or someone from my team here would be happy to help you with that, but a local expert that can help you identify where you're going to spend the least in property taxes. And if it doesn't matter to you, that's fine. The whole city is open to you, but if you're looking to save on some of those taxes, which never go away, there are specific neighborhoods that can help you save some dollars. Now, those property taxes here in Temecula can range anywhere from 1.1% on the very lowest side, all the way up to 2.4% property tax. Now, that may not seem like a whole lot to you here as you're hearing those in percentages, but that can cost you several $100s per month in your monthly payment just based on property taxes. And guess what? If you're fortunate enough to pay that home off, those taxes never go away. You're always going to be paying those. So I know that's something that's really important. Now, when we're looking at these property taxes, you're literally talking about your purchase price for the home, and then you're going to multiply that by 1.1 or all the way up to 2.4%, and then chop that up by 12 to see what amount of taxes will go into your monthly mortgage payment. And you can see how vastly that can differ from area to area. So you want to be careful to make sure you don't end up in a high tax area, especially if you're super budget conscious. Now let's talk about homeowners associations. We do get questions quite often from people on the channel about HOAs here in our area. They are becoming more and more popular as new construction continues to go up in Temecula. I can almost guarantee you that just about every new construction community in Temecula is going to come with a new HOA. And so they're seeing some benefits to come along with that. You're going to get community pools and spas and clubhouse and fitness centers and parks and trails, and even pickleball courts, and some of those things are going to come along with some of that. So there's advantage to having the HOA, as well as making sure that your neighbor doesn't paint their house purple or some crazy color. Sorry if you like the color purple, but there are some advantages to some of that. HOAs here in the area average from $50 to $150 per month. There are some even lower than that, and some that do get quite higher than that depending on the specific neighborhood and the amenities offered, but you do want to prepare yourself. Some of the older neighborhoods here in Temecula come without any sort of HOA. Some people like those just because it comes with no restrictions, and you get to do whatever you want, and you don't have a monthly payment that you're paying to anything. But a lot of areas here will have that homeowners association that will have some sort of control over what you're doing with the exterior of the home, and making sure you're submitting plans for any backyard improvements and things like that that you may be doing to the property. So something to keep in mind as you're shopping around. Now let's move on to talk about schools. Temecula is very well known for its top-notch school system. So that is what a lot of families are attracted to Temecula for, is because the schools are so great. We use greatschools.org to grade all of the schools when we're doing these breakdown videos, and you can check out, we just recently released a video about schools in Temecula. You can check that one out, or every individual neighborhood we go through or new construction community, we talk about the specific school rankings for each school assigned to those areas. Now we've got top rated high schools. We've actually got 3 of them here in Temecula. You've got Great Oak, Temecula Valley High School, and Chaparral. Each of those high schools well known for their academics as well as athletic programs. So each of them have some pretty successful athletes that have come out of those schools. Now there are also private charter school options here in the area. Be sure to check out our other videos on the channel for some specifics on some of those. Most schools here in Temecula are rated at least a 7 out of 10 on the greatschools.org chart, and so that's what makes this a really great and unique school system. Just about any school district that you end up in, or school zone area that you end up in here in the Temecula Valley School District, is going to come with some fantastic schools. That is super helpful for you on resale value. Even if you don't have kids, you're an empty nester, or don't plan to have kids, whatever that may be, it's going to help you with resale value and helps drive people here to our area very consistently. Once you get out of high school, we do have some higher education options as well. You've got Mount San Jacinto Community College, which is just north of Temecula, maybe a 15 to 20 minute drive for those that would be commuting from living in Temecula. So you've got Cal State San Diego, University of California San Diego, UCLA, USC, University of California Riverside, and even up into San Bernardino, you've got some options. So there are a lot of the big schools, the University of California or Cal State schools that surround our area. Maybe at max an hour-and-a-half commute if you live in Temecula, so you can send your kids off to those schools as well and be really quick to visit them. It wouldn't be a huge hassle to get to any one of those schools on any given day. Now let's move on to talk about safety. I did mention it earlier in the video. Safety is a top priority for Temecula, and it is consistently ranked among the top safest cities in California. And again, that is a huge attractor to people moving here to Temecula. You couple safety and schools as well as affordability, Southern California affordability, and it basically has created this boom town for Temecula. So top ranked safety, really proactive law enforcement here in the area, looking to proactively keep the place safe rather than reactively responding to things as they're happening. So the police department here is great and does a really good job of, again, making sure that things stay safe here in our area. You can always check out Crime Grade or any other crime safety website to get you some specifics as far as how Temecula goes. Now let's get to the part that you've probably been waiting for me to get to, and that is home prices in Temecula, California. So I don't love to quote home prices here on these videos because you may be watching this 3-4 years from now. So if you are, feel free to reach out to myself or my team for current up-to-date information. We'd love to get you that. But as of the date of this recording, the average price home right now in Temecula, California is $895,000. Again, I told you relative to Southern California, that is affordable. You may be coming from somewhere else in the country and say, there is no chance I'm paying that much for a home, and I totally understand and respect that. But in regards to living in San Diego, LA, Orange County, we are 30% cheaper home value-wise here in Temecula than some of those surrounding areas. So that makes Temecula a really great option for people. Now you may be able to find homes as you get into maybe some areas of central Temecula that you can get into the $600,000-$700,000 range. You can have a condo for about $450,000 to $500,000, depending on how many bedrooms that comes with. And then you can get into some custom estates. So we've got condos, tract homes, and you've even got wine country. If you want to live out near some of those wineries, you can get into the several $million-dollar price points as you get out there. You can have several acres, horse property with vineyards or avocado trees. There is a ton of land in wine country here in Temecula. You could custom build a home, so you can get yourself really high up there as far as price point goes once you get off into the wine country area side of things as well. So let's talk about what types of homes you can expect to find here in Temecula. you're going to have your standard single family tract home. That's going to be your average price point home here in the area. We do have several communities that, as I mentioned earlier, are condos and townhome options. So they're gonna be your most affordable, but they're not gonna come with a yard. Maybe they have a garage, maybe they don't. So your price point is gonna dictate whether you're going to get some of those amenities to come along with that as well. We also have custom estates out in wine country. We have homes that are located on golf courses. I mentioned earlier in the entertainment segment that we have a ton of golf here. So we've got communities that surround those courses. So if you'd like to live on those golf courses and see those beautiful maintained fairways or greens, you've got that option as well. So we have a super diverse type of home here in the area, whatever you're looking for. Condo, starter home, move up homes, 4,000 square foot homes, we've got them. Custom mansions, a place to build on property or put a manufactured home on property, you name it, we've got it. So whatever style of living you're looking for here in Temecula is definitely at your disposal. And maybe you're moving here and not looking to purchase a home right away, and that is totally fine. So let me share with you some rental values for homes here in Temecula. The average rental price right now is $3,200 for about a 3-bedroom home in Temecula. And then as you add more bedrooms on there, you're gonna get your way up into about $3,800 to $4,000 per month as far as rent goes. Now, if you're saying, hey, I don't need a full home at this point, I'm just looking for an apartment, then you can be anywhere from $2,200 to $2,800 per month to rent one of those units as well. Next up, we'll talk about jobs here in Temecula. So Temecula is pretty well known to be a commuter community, meaning you're going to work in San Diego, LA, Orange County. Typically, you're going to be working outside of the city of Temecula, and that's basically where that trade-off of home value, affordability versus some of that commute time is something that you need to weigh out to see if it is worth it for you. Now, with the invention of work from home and Zoom and all that kind of stuff, there are a lot of people that live and work here and maybe have to remotely work for some time and then go into the office for 1 or 2 days a week. That is an option as well that a lot of people have traded in some of their San Diego homes to come here to Temecula. Now, if you are going to work here locally, most of that is going to be in the healthcare segment. We do have a lot of local hospitals. So if you're a nurse or a doctor or anything along the healthcare side of things, there are some options here locally for you. Now, there's going to be a lot more as you get into San Diego or Orange County or LA, of course, but there are some options for you locally as well. You would also have some education job options here. Temecula Valley School District, with as many schools as we have here, there are a lot of teaching jobs available, as well as several private and charter schools that have that opportunity for you as well. And then a little bit in the entertainment segment due to the casino here, as well as the wineries. So you can get out there and be a host or a server or whatever kind of opportunity comes with any of those entertainment jobs as well. All that to say though, if you are living here, odds are you're likely going to be having some of that commute. And again, that's just something that you'll need to weigh out to see if it's worth what you'll get here, bang for your buck wise, in Temecula. Now let's talk about cost of living. So I mentioned it a little bit earlier that Temecula is more affordable than most of Southern California, and that rings true on the cost of living side due to home price affordability. So you're going to have a more affordable home in Temecula than surrounding counties. Now, there are some cities here in the Temecula Valley and even outside of the valley that get more affordable, but you do give up some locations, some amenities. Maybe it's still under construction in some cases. So Temecula, in my honest opinion, is the best bang for your buck and offers the most amount of amenities, entertainment, dining, shopping, all of those things. It's the complete package for the most affordable price, in my opinion. Now, outside of that, your groceries, your utilities, your restaurants, all of those things, cost of living wise, are consistent with the state average here in California. So if you're coming from outside of California, you will be spending significantly more on your cost of living expenses, depending on where you're coming from, but you can expect those to go up over time here as well. So it's going to cost you more to hit the grocery store, to eat out, to get some groceries, to get gas. We all know that. You always hear about Southern California gas prices. So expect that when you're moving here to the area. But again, relative to the other communities, overall affordability in Temecula is significantly better. Now let's talk about those commutes and transportation. So when it comes to Temecula, expect traffic. I'm just gonna say that right up front. There's no easy way of getting around that. We have one major freeway which runs through Temecula. That is the 15 freeway. It runs north and south. North is gonna take you up into getting to Orange County and LA. South is gonna get you down to San Diego. Now that freeway does jam up and get super congested during rush hour traffic. Early mornings and in the evenings as people are getting off of work, it can be a nasty commute. So be prepared for that if you're going to be commuting to either of those areas for work. And it could take you, the average commute time for Temecula, per the records, says 45 minutes for somebody going to work. Now that doesn't mean it takes 45 minutes to get to San Diego. I know most people here would say it takes even longer than that during rush hour traffic to get to San Diego or get back, but the average commuter here in the area commutes about 45 minutes each way for work. Now there's no major public transportation here in the area. We don't have, a consistent route of buses or subways or trains or anything like that. So pretty much having a car here in the area is a must, and you can expect to use that for most of your transportation here in the area. Now, I also want to talk about how close we are to major airports. Most often, if you're living here in Temecula, you're going to choose either San Diego Airport or Ontario. Both can get you international flights out of there, although LAX is the biggest here in the area. But to get yourself to Ontario Airport, that is right at a 1-hour drive. To San Diego Airport, that is about an hour and 15 minutes. And if you're going up to LAX, that's going to be about an hour and a half, or maybe even more, depending on some of those traffic commute times. So you've got some quick access to get yourself, just about anywhere in the country you want to go from any of those airports. Last but not least, let's talk about healthcare here in the area. You do have several options. As I mentioned in the jobs portion, you've got a lot of options to work in healthcare, which means you've also got a lot of options to choose for healthcare here in the area, which is really great. You've got Temecula Valley Hospital. That's going to have your ER, your ICU, everything that you need major support there is right there. Now, outside of Temecula, you've got Loma Linda Medical in Murrieta. You've got Rancho Springs Medical Center. So you've got some of those options. And then if you're looking for, any sort of major service, major surgery, you may end up commuting down to San Diego. That's where you're gonna find a lot of the bigger hospitals here in the area. I know when my own daughter had to have some surgeries done, we've taken her down to Rady's down in San Diego, which is a really great choice. So, whether you have babies and kids that you're concerned about healthcare wise, you've got options here locally, but some of the specialists down in San Diego. And if you're, getting older and worried about some of those things as well, you've got options here locally also that can help take care of you on that side. Is plenty of urgent cares, plenty of emergency rooms. All of that support is here locally for you on the healthcare side. All right, that sums it up for our complete guide to living in Temecula, California. As I mentioned, this is a beautiful place to live. I'm partial, I live and conduct business here, but this is your best bang for your buck in Southern California. You're still going to be just about an hour away from anything you want to get to. If you want to get to the beaches, you want to get to the mountains, you want to get to Palm Springs, whatever you're looking for, you've got that all here just about an hour away max. Even if you want to get down to San Diego, in most cases, again, depending on rush hour traffic, but you're just a little over an hour to get there also. So everything you're looking for is within an hour drive. You get better bang for your buck as far as home price goes, and there are things to do here locally that can keep you within town, most often and most of the time. So it's beautiful with all the scenery, great weather, and a lot of people choose to come here because of the affordability, safety, and those schools. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you have any questions about moving to the Temecula Valley or moving in Temecula in specific, feel free to reach out to my team. You can give us a call, you can shoot us a text, you can send an email, or you can even schedule a one-on-one Zoom consultation with a member of my team to discuss any questions that you have about living here in the area. No hassle, no pressure to do anything. We just want to get you that information and make sure you are informed. So thank you again for tuning in today. We'll see you guys next time.